We have never seen in the NBA a player like LeBron James.
You know, I look at LeBron and what he's done is mind-blowing with what he's had to work with. He's taken every rookie coach he's had to the NBA Finals. So from an educational standpoint and a knowledge base, where did this brain come from? I mean, he's the Einstein of basketball. Because when you look at myself, you look at a Jordan, you look at a Shaq, you know, we had Hall of Fame coaches. That came from somewhere. I look at LeBron James and I go, where'd he get all this? Because he can look at your coach, figure out your defensive scheme. He can look at your substitution pattern. He can read the stat sheet, and then he can, you know, not only read it, but he can dissect it. Then he can come back and put together a game plan, and then he can go out and implement it. And you just don't walk in from high school with no institutional knowledge and dominate a sport for the years that he's dominated. So when you talk about LeBron James, Michael Jordan, I look at from the neck up, not necessarily from the neck down.
So are you saying LeBron is better than Michael Jordan?
I would pick LeBron James.
You would?
Yeah. If I'm trying to build a team. If I'm trying to build a team, I'm going with the brain. Okay? If I got to get 40 points or 50 points, then yeah, I'm taking Michael Jordan. LeBron James just came in from high school and said, boom, 7 straight finals.
I think LeBron James is the most talented player that I've ever seen, and the reason being, you know, sometimes you hear people make a statement, but they don't back it up with nothing. And let me explain to you.
LeBron is my size or bigger.
About 265, 275, and I would say to do the things that he do, we will never see it again. So all of those haters out there, sit back and enjoy. Every now and then, you see a player come through, and you say, wow.
When you look at what LeBron have done and how long that lasted,
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. So you give that credit, but I will not sit here and tell you, start labeling them.
People don't know how to take them, so they become haters. Haters need to be aware and say, enjoy this guy.
First time he was in the finals was 2007. I wasn't playing basketball. That's crazy to think about. Basically grew up watching him play. Obviously, when you're young, you follow kind of the hype. Athletic, can dunk over everybody, you know. Guy that goes downhill, he's like a train, you know, bulldoze his way in there, like all that. Which when I came in and I understand, you know, the way he operates is, and this guy's like, he's a genius. He knows how to play the game of basketball. For 21 years, he's been extremely consistent. You know, he's always available for his team. You know, does what he does, you know, in order for him to win. It's incredible, man. It's totally incredible, but for me, probably, arguably the best player to ever play this game. If not, some guys might say he's number 2, but other guys, me, might say he's number 1.
The things that he is doing on the court now, I mean, I'm a big Michael Jordan guy. I mean, that was my era. But LeBron's making a great argument to be, you know, one of the greatest, if not the greatest.
He's always been a great player. But now he puts those other guys in a position where they can be successful. And he's learned how to help them against all odds. They were down 3-1. No one gave them a chance to win it, and they were able to put it together. But really, it comes down to how much are you willing to sacrifice, right? How much are you willing to put everyone else in a position where they can be successful?
Who's the player that's playing in the NBA today, Elgin Baylor, that could have held his own in the league while you were playing and with the rules that you were playing?
No doubt about it. LeBron James. I mean, he's like a freak of nature. I mean, this guy, man, he's built like Hercules. I mean, he's 6'8", and I think he weighs like 275 or 280. I mean, he should be out there playing football too. But I mean, he is one heck of an athlete.
Really good to play with. Really great guy, really great player. If you're open, he's going to get it to you. He's going to get it to you. So that's why, you know, when they talk about LeBron being one of the best ever, I do agree. But, you know, the numbers will always be, you know, skewed, whether who's 1, 2, or 3. And it's a great conversation to be in. Like, I wish I was in that GOAT conversation. He going to have 4 rings. He already passed up Kobe, he already passed up Mike, now he passed up Kareem. So if that don't make him the greatest basketball player is, I don't know, what we're talking about.
I always say Michael Jordan is the GOAT. If he really surpasses Kareem in the scoring record, I mean, it's I'm sort of running out of arguments for Michael. I mean, what this guy has done has been nothing short of incredible. The longevity, and I always say, being called king at 15, and how he turned out, and what he's done for communities where he played, and changed so many lives. So he's a very, very special athlete, and I think for now we need to appreciate that watching him and at the level he's playing at.
I mean, this is what it is. I told you, man. I said this earlier, man. This is the changing of the guard of everything we've known the game to be. And this is the first parts of the transition of now Bron being king of the hill.
When we talk about the GOAT, man, he might be the GOAT. I think that right there probably solidified it.
Lord, think about this. Man, he put 40,000. Think about high school, bro. Think how many buckets you not put up. Think about just, Lord, he's gonna have 40,000 points, Pete, in the fucking
That's
NBA, bro.
Crazy.
See, this is what makes him go on top of the list to me. This shit right here. If we talking about shot making, if we talking about ability, if we talking about skill, he in all those conversations. But now you're doing some shit where, the greatest couldn't even do this. Wilt couldn't do this. Jordan couldn't do this. 38. Man, 38 in the league is really like 45. Lord, and you know what's so crazy? He's such a humble kid, such a humble guy. He ain't step on everybody like he could have. Y'all, everybody shut the fuck up. Everybody shut the fuck up. It's over. Ain't nothing to talk about no more, right? Man. Everybody in their lane now.
And for some reason, I don't know why, I think a lot of people don't give him his just due sometime because he's such an incredible player. He's a Swiss Army knife. He does everything. Rebound, passes, block shots, scores the ball. And I think when he leaves the game, I think his legacy will be huge. I think near where Jordan's legacy has been. But this player, someone I admire a lot. I mean, he competes every night. He doesn't take nights off.
Do you think LeBron James is up there with the greatest players of all time?
Yes. According to the position that he plays, when people start comparing him with Jordan, then that's not a fair comparison. Because, Jordan is far more superior player. I mean, that's not taking anything away from LeBron James because he's a great player. But it's not a fair comparison because I think Jordan is much far superior player.
LeBron is not as good as Michael Jordan? Come on.
What do you think?
LeBron is in a class by himself. What is legacy anyway? If a guy can play or he can't play. Legacy is after you're through with the game and gone, and look back on your career. All this legacy stuff people talk about before a guy even finishes playing, it's just TV talk.
Let's talk about the Michael LeBron thing. They played in different eras. Mm-hmm. They're, in my opinion, they're right there. It's either A or B. Okay. LeBron James is the only one who didn't struggle right away. Right. He came in and was a good player. He wasn't great right away, but he was a good player. Right. But also in this generation where everybody's got a cell phone and people out to get you, he's never gotten in trouble. He's exceeded what the NBA, any expectations. And to never get in trouble in this generation. Like I say, everybody's got a cell phone now. People are deliberately trying to get you. Yes. I think it's the greatest sports story ever.
It's like when he was in his 14th, 15th year, I was just like, when he's his 17th, 18th year, it's just like, damn, that's actually is dope. When you're 39 in your 20th year and then like half your life is in the league and then you played against like 40% of the players that's ever played in the league, it's just like, that longevity has to mean something. There has to be a standard. Like, if you really, truly want to know what greatness is like, of course you can accumulate championships in a short amount of time and accolades in a short amount of time. You can have a nice, quick spurt of moment, but like, I truly appreciate somebody who's been in that shit for a long time.
There is no denying like his greatness in terms of what he can do on the court. And like sometimes you're in, even when you're playing against him, you're in awe because it's like the way he can control the tempo of the game, the way he can dominate scoring, passing, you know, just his overall just presence and his IQ, like all that stuff. Like we all talk about it. And you have to appreciate your competition if you want to beat them because there's got to be that, you know, as coach would call it, the appropriate fear.
Absolutely.
But people always compare eras too, right? And they always say we're more buddy-buddy than eras of past because there ain't no fights on the court. Like we all work out with each other. You got business crossover, friendships, like all that stuff off the court. And they always talk about like that's ruining the game. He's an amazing basketball player, and he brings the best out of you, and you know you have to be your best if you're going to try to beat him. And I think he feels vice versa. And so you love those experiences. Somebody's got to win, and it's part of the nature of what we're dealing with. But there's so much respect and again appreciation for the battles and the experiences and the back and forth because it's basketball at the highest level, and that's all you can ask for.
Are you aware that there are some of your diehard fans that have an issue with LeBron being termed as part of the family?
Yeah, I hear that, but you know, listen, if you're a fan of mine, you're a fan of winning. And whether you're a fan of his or not, if you were a fan and you don't agree with what he's saying and now he just lost a fan, he's fine with that because he's going to do what's right. And I think that's a great example for all of us.
Well, I mean, I'm of the mindset that his legacy as one of the all-time greats is already sealed. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, he's already done that.
Well, yeah.
You would agree. You would agree with that assessment,
yeah.
Obviously, right?
Yeah. I think, you know, for me, I'm sure for Bron as well, is, you know, the way we approach the game is the same way we approach life. You do the right thing. You make the right play. Make the right play. And in life, it's the same thing. What do you feel in your heart is the right thing to do? And you do that. You know, it seems so simple, but sometimes the simplest things are the hardest things to do. Like, he's going to do what's right. And we're about winning championships. So they'll fall in line.
You could just tell what he was going to be and who he was going to be, and that he was going to be such a dominant player for such a long time. And it was great playing games early and again late in my career. And just watching his trajectory of his career, you could just see it coming. But playing against a young LeBron and an older LeBron, two different players, two totally different players, and it was fun to watch and be a part of.
As far as playing basketball, you've got to enjoy this guy. If you're a basketball fan, you got to sit back and go, "Wow, how did he do that?" Or I always say, "Boy, I wish I had his speed."
Yeah.
You know. But some of the stuff that kid does out there, he's by far our best player in this league. I don't think there's really anyone next to him. I think he's there, then you go down the list.
You always talk about the great play. I tell people, quit whining about LeBron. Enjoy him while he's here. He's unbelievable. I mean, he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest ever. Then you go back, I played against Magic, Michael, Kareem. I mean, the list goes on and on. So it's hard to pick one guy. But, I mean, it just seems like everybody in their era thinks their era is the best. I don't buy any of that.
Right.
Things change.
There's nobody at that height and size that can move that fast and also go through contact and still score. We've never seen it before. Right. And still make his teammates better. So he's leading in so many different ways. He can score. He can defend. He can rebound. He can assist. We've never seen that at a guy that size and that fast and that strong.
Right.
But also, we forget, he's the smartest dude.
Right.
His basketball IQ is so far above everybody else. He reads situations, he reads the game. He could do it all. And I think at the end of the day, to pass two Lakers, you're on the Lakers.
Right.
And now you're going to pass me, and then eventually Kareem to be the all-time leading scorer? And number 3 all-time in assists?
Right.
Wow. You got to give it to him.
Yeah.
So who do you think is the greatest player of all time?
I think we can't determine that. It's impossible to determine that. The circle has to keep getting bigger because there's more and more great players coming through that deserve to be in the circle. So, I just try to acknowledge everybody, and, I let the people that go to sports bars, they can argue about it, they order their wings and their brews, and they can start arguing. But we're not going to figure this one out.
LeBron's career is one of someone who planned to dominate this game. And he immediately started to have his effect. And, it's gone for almost 20 years now. So I think that, you got to give him credit for just the way that he planned to last and to dominate.
Disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. 2005, they voted me as like the best or the most popular athlete. It's ironic that I'm the youngest of the three. So in essence, it's all relevated on who is watching now. If you ask 20 years from now, I'm pretty sure LeBron may beat me, based on who's going to be making the voting. So if you ask me, I could never give you an opinion about things like that because as an athlete, all you want to do is be the best athlete you can be.
We play in different eras. He's an unbelievable player. He's one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world. I know it's a natural tendency to compare eras to eras, and it's going to continue to happen. I'm a fan of his. I love watching him play. But it's, as you can see, our league is starting to expand on very talented players. And, I think he's made his mark. He will continue to do so over a period of time. But when you start the comparisons, I think it is what it is. It's just a standard measurement. And I take it with a grain of salt. He is a heck of a basketball player, without a doubt.